Hey, what's going on everybody? Anthony here with Duke City Aquariums, and today I'm going to talk about all of my favorite equipment that I use to keep my algae at bay, so stick around. Alright, so I wanted to make this really quick video just talking about all the things that I use to take care of the algae in my home aquariums. Now, I do have multiple fish tanks, and there's even one of them is right next to a window, and I run pretty high lighting on all of them. So as you can imagine, I battle quite a bit of algae on an almost daily basis. So I wanted to kind of showcase all of my things that I use. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is I've actually done a video on it before, so you can go check that out up in this little iCard here, is this little guy here. This is the mini algae scraper I picked up on Amazon. It's fantastic. I'm not going to talk too much about it because I did make a video on it, but it's awesome. This is my favorite one. This is my 90% of the time go-to algae scraper. It's super tiny, compact, gets the job done for you know, like I said, probably about 90% of the algae that I get here in my house. So this is definitely a must buy. I actually want to pick up a few more of these just so I can have one running in all my aquariums, really, because I mean they're so small, it doesn't even take up any space. So now so that takes off all the soft stuff, the soft green and brown algae. So now there are times when I'll get a certain diatom algae, like a brown, that's a little bit more crusted on there, and for that I do have to turn to something like this guy here, like this mag float with the metal scraper attachment on it. Now I have two of these. This is the small version, and then I do have this medium-sized version here, so it's quite a bit bigger. I don't have any, so I usually keep one of these in each of my bigger tanks. I don't have anything large enough that would need me to buy the large one. These things are already kind of pricey as it is, and the large one with the blade attached, that's, I don't know, it's a lot though. It's quite a bit of money. So the medium is big enough for, you know, for pretty much everything that I have. And like I said before, it does get off that tougher to get algae, like the one that's a little bit more crusted on there, and it'll get that. And another use for this, and another really good use, I'll show you here in some b-roll, is it really works well getting algae off right down near the substrate, or even right under the substrate, because of the little scraper blade. It can move in between the substrate and the glass and kind of scrape down in there, which I really like, and that's why I highly recommend one of these mag floats, even if it's just a small one. That one even gets the job done too. So those are a really good option. Now let's talk about the back of the glass, the back of the aquarium. Now it's really hard to clean the back of the aquarium with a magnetic algae scraper, something like either of these, because typically aquariums are up against a wall, and you can't really kind of reach back there and then try and peek around the other side and, you know, kind of move it around and make sure you're getting the right spot, and you can't reach the whole length of the aquarium. Especially if you have something like, I have a couple of 55s, and that's a 4-foot tank, so it's really hard to get behind. So in order to help with that, I picked up this guy here. This is a an algae scraper, like wand, I guess. I picked this up from Top Fin, but there's a ton of different brands out there, and they're super cheap. Like, I think this thing was maybe 10 bucks or something. And what I really love about this one is this curvature here, how it curves down, so it'll stay flat against that back glass while you're holding it, even if you're holding it at an angle, and you can just go up and down and scrape or kind of scrub off all of the algae that grows back there. So something that I personally like to do, and this is just a personal preference, is I paint all of my aquariums, I paint the back glass black. Now to me, that's just a really cheap upgrade, and it can change the overall appearance of your aquarium in a good way. And however, with that, the brown algae that does grow on the back of the glass kind of shows up. It doesn't show up as much as like a blue or anything like that, but you can still see it. So that's why it's really important for me that I use this, because I don't like that brown showing on the black. It just doesn't look very good. But yeah, this thing's really awesome, and that's all I use it for. I don't use it for like getting algae off the front of the glass or anything like that. I exclusively use this for the back. All right, so now let's talk about the last thing. I have been battling this type of algae only in my Mbuna aquarium, and that's the aquarium that sits right next to a window. It doesn't get direct sunlight or anything, but I still have so much algae growth in that aquarium, which is fine because Mbunas love to eat algae and stuff. However, there has been this type of algae. It's brown, but it's not. It's super hard. It's almost like old paint, almost like I have to get in there, and even if I scratch it with my finger, it doesn't even come off. These mag floats don't even touch it. I can sit there scraping at it with the mag float, and it doesn't even come off. So what do we do in that case? That's when I bring out the big guns. That's when I turn to something that has nothing to do with the fish keeping hobby. And keep in mind, this is for people with a glass aquarium, and it is your old-fashioned razor blade. Now, a razor blade will go a long way in the fish keeping hobby when it comes to scraping aquariums. That really tough, caked on, harder than heck algae, one sweep of this takes it right off. And I always keep one of these handy. Like, it might be kind of common sense to most people, but for everybody who doesn't know, if you have a glass aquarium, pick up a razor blade. If there's a little stubborn piece of algae, it'll scrape it right off. So that's why I recommend everybody pick up just a little pack of razor blades and keep them separate than your work ones. Don't be using the same razor blade that you cut drywall with or anything like that. That's just not gonna do anybody any favors. But anyway, that's all I have for you today. Everything will be linked in the description down below, so you can go check them out if you want to. Those will be Amazon affiliate links, so it really does help me out if you buy with those links. But anyway, that was a quick one today, so I hope you really enjoyed it. If you did, please go ahead and leave a like, and also comment down below and let me know what your favorite algae scraping tool is. I'd like to hear about that. But anyway, that'll wrap it up for me today. Thank you so much for watching, and we will catch you in the next one.